Good morning and welcome to the 140th Commencement here at Hastings College. I would ask you to remain standing for the national anthem, followed by the invocation.
I invite you all to remain standing as I offer the opening prayer of invocation. Gracious and loving God, on this joyful morning we gather with gratitude, hope, and perhaps just a little bit of relief to celebrate the graduating class of Hastings College. Today we give thanks for all that has been brought by these graduates and all that has brought them to this moment. The late night studying, the early morning classes, the group projects that taught patience and perseverance, the friendships that became family and for this beloved institution of Hastings College. We give thanks for the faculty and staff who have guided and challenged these students, for coaches and mentors who encourage them, and for parents, grandparents, siblings, spouses, and friends who provided love, support, prayers, and snacks. Lord, today these graduates leave Hastings College with diplomas, knowledge, memories, and at least a little more confidence in their ability to survive on coffee and very little sleep. As they begin this next chapter, oh God, grant them wisdom to seek truth, courage to pursue justice, compassion to serve their neighbors, and humility to keep learning. Help them remember that success is not measured only by titles, salaries, or achievement, but by the ways that they use their gifts to bring hope, kindness, and healing into the world. When the road ahead feels uncertain, give them courage. When life feels overwhelming, give them resilience. When they fail, help them to learn and grow. And when they succeed, remind them to still call or text their parents once in a while. Bless this celebration today. Fill this place with joy, laughter, gratitude, and hope as we honor these graduates and send them forth into the world. Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Reverend, and thank you for your service to Hastings College. I'm Rich Lloyd, President of Hastings College. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the administration, faculty, and staff, we welcome all of you to today's graduation ceremony. We gather today to honor and celebrate our graduates and all of you that have helped and supported our students along the way. We also give special thanks to those who are not with us this morning, who also supported our students over the years, family members, beloved friends, and colleagues. May their joyful and encouraging spirits be among the many clouds of witnesses celebrating with us today. It is my pleasure to introduce our senior speaker, Bree Narek, who was selected by a nomination and vote of the senior class. Bree is an English major from Bellevue, Nebraska, a regular Dean's List student. Bree, as a member of our forensics team, was a national finalist in poetry interpretation. During her years at HC, she was a member of Phi Alpha Theta, served as president of the English Honorary Sigma Tau Delta. She also served on many other student organizations, including Student Media, Collegian, Student Senate, and on my Student Insights panel, a group of students who provide direct feedback to the president. As an English professor myself, I am thrilled that next year Bree will be starting her PhD in English at the University of Florida. Please join me in welcoming Bree as this year's senior speaker.
Thanks, Gino. That's my roommate's dad. I'm practically adopted. Good morning, distinguished faculty, administrators, honored guests, proud family and friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates, the graduating class of 2026. I would also like to thank my fellow graduates for nominating me to represent their voices here on this podium. While I'm technically a third-year senior, the class of 2026 has made a generous exception for me and has taken me in as one of their own, so I guess I kind of count. None of us arrived at this moment alone, and I certainly didn't. Behind all the blood, sweat, and tears and every success stood the people who carried me through it. So I would like to thank my professors, specifically Dr. Clifford, Dr. Oman, Dr. Reeds, Dr. Babcock, and Dr. Biba. They have both modeled exactly what it is I'd like to do in life and who I'd like to be. I would also like to thank my family for enabling my delusions, my mother, who had to abandon her education so that she could see me standing here speaking to all of you, and all of my roommates who became the sisters I never had, and my best friend and the love of my life, Joey Forcade, who reminded me exactly who I was whenever life made me forget. I've noticed throughout my short time here at Hastings College that it isn't always the lectures themselves that shape us, but the quiet conversations that happen afterwards. I remember waiting behind in my British history class with Dr. Babcock. I didn't have the courage back then to tell him that he brewed his coffee way too strong for my liking, but all caffeine tastes the same anyway in an 8 a.m. history lecture. After asking him about an assignment, Dr. Babcock decided to ask me a question that I would begin asking myself for the next 2 years. Why are you at Hastings College? And I began to answer, telling him I'd gotten a forensic scholarship, it wasn't too far from home, but then he stopped me and said, no, why are you at Hastings College? And I stopped, and I really struggled to answer, and it made me realize that in a sea of questions that are asking us, what are you gonna do next? What are you gonna do with that? There lies a question that's much heavier and scarier. Who are we going to be? Are you going to be the thorn in injustice's side? Are you going to carve out paths yet that haven't been paved for you? And can you tell I'm an English major? Man, I just love me a good metaphor. We love that up in the English department. Come on now, yeah? But there is one metaphor, actually, that kind of became my Roman Empire this year, and it started in my philosophy class. And we're talking about this guy, Heraclitus, and my man Heraclitus over here had a thing or two to say about life being constantly in motion. More specifically, he said, you never step into the same river twice. And whoop, that just tickled something in me when I heard it. Did that tickle something in you? Yeah, I know it did. Yep, that's right. But this philosophy really stuck with me. And I've realized that the whole time I've been swimming in this river we call life. Corny, I know, but constantly ebbing, flowing, and changing into something that is so much bigger than that discussion post I forgot about. Fast forward to 2 days ago, and I was sitting on the floor of my apartment staring at an empty document, trying to figure out the best way to communicate a message to you all that will inspire you, but more importantly, resonate with you. And I decided to do so in the best way I know how, through poetry. Save your booze for when you exit the ceremony. No, but seriously, poetry is pretty cool, and this is a slam poem, so it's meant to be read aloud. but spoken word poetry is also incredibly interactive. So, class of 2026, remember that this is your day to be loud and celebrate. And that if you hear something that you resonate with, you can give it a little a clap, a snap. We do snaps for poetry. Can I actually get the whole room snapping really quick? Like snapping hands? Yeah, okay, see, so that's what I better hear when I read this poem, because my family's gonna be real disappointed if I read a lame poem with no snaps at graduation. So, I realized young that I would have to learn to expand my lungs large enough to hold my breath for as long as I could to avoid swimming in a body of water that had no goal other than to drown me. To reject the help from professors who too learned how to tread these waters. I was avoiding the reality that is my capacity. Understanding your capability to swim against the tide comes with the responsibility to teach someone else that they can too. For what use is knowing how to swim, if not to teach the ones who yearn for an ocean of possibility, if not to reconcile with the daunting fact that we do, in fact, have the capacity to change our world. The capacity born from the lives of mothers who nurtured minds born out of translation. My mother left home and then redefined the word entirely. Capacity lives in that. It lives in the everyday of our lives, in the body of action, in between the lines of procrastinated papers and drafts and revisions and labs and exams and 11:59 deadlines and 8 a.m. lectures, in that last sip of Red Bull and every other unhealthy habit that will remain unnamed. We love you, parents and mandatory reporters. In frantic class group chats the night before exams, in the minds of sleep-deprived students with a hunger for achievement that is never satisfied, in every professor's bookshelves, in every office hour that begins with feedback and critique and ends in laughter that leaks into the hallways. It lives in the, what are you gonna do with that? And the, what are you gonna do after you graduate? Capacity lives in the hesitation in your voice to that question. It lives in the doubt, the plans that haven't been made, bridges that haven't been burned, and waters that we haven't yet treaded in the winding tides that is the river of life. It lives in the voices of those who taught us how to swim that tide, in the classmates who we just almost, drowned with. Regardless of what your plans are, let me remind you that you will leave here capable of more than when you first entered. In every one of us, standing at the edge of a future we cannot predict, but we will step into it anyway. And maybe Heraclitus was right. Maybe we never step into the same river twice. But today, at least for one moment, we stand in this one together. Capacity lives in the class of 2026 students. Thank you again for honoring me with this podium today. Hastings College, thank you for teaching us that we're capable of swimming.
Thank you, Bree. Students of the class of 2026 have distinguished themselves in many ways. On the field, in the studio, through competition, on the stage, and of course, in the classroom. The academic accomplishments of Hastings students have always been impressive, and that is especially true with the graduates sitting here today. Students at Hastings College may graduate with honors by virtue of earning exceptionally high grades. The designation of honor graduates is determined by the student's cumulative grade point average at the end of her or his senior year. These graduates have the distinction of wearing red and gold honor medallions at today's ceremony. There are 3 designations for honors. Students graduating cum laude have an overall GPA of 3.85 to 3.93. Would these students please stand and be recognized? Our cum laude graduates. Please be seated. Students graduating magna cum laude have an overall GPA of 3.94 to 3.96. Would our magna cum laude graduates please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. And finally, students graduating summa cum laude have an overall GPA of 3.97 or higher. Would our summa cum laude graduates please rise and be recognized? These students with their honors designation will also be individually recognized when they are presented to the president in the roll call of names. Family and friends here will notice that our graduates are wearing pins on their stoles or colorful cords as part of their regalia. These represent a variety of student organizations, interest groups, honor societies. After the ceremony, I would encourage all of you to ask our graduates what these pins or cords represent that they're wearing, and learn more about how their involvement has shaped their experience here at Hastings College and has indeed shaped the college itself. From a broader perspective, they are indicative that a Hastings College education encompasses all aspects of life, and that you, the class of 2026, are truly creative, curious, and caring individuals. Moreover, true to the mission of our college, your academic accomplishments, leadership, and engagement have prepared you to be citizens and leaders in our local, national, and global communities. Our future is truly bright because of you. We are incredibly proud of all that you have accomplished, excited for the future that you represent. Your graduation represents a milestone as we move together into that future that you're leading. President Lloyd, upon the recommendation of the faculty, I present to you those candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Master of Arts in Teaching. I would ask that the graduates please rise by rows and come forward as your name is called to receive your diplomas. After you receive your diploma, please make your way back to the other side of the stage and then back to your seat. We will begin with our bachelor graduates. Isis Fatima Abugit. Isaiah Aguirre. Samuel Allen All. Eileen Alvidrez with distinction in elementary education. Angela Marisol Amaya Cardona, summa cum laude with high distinction in music education. Donovan Paul Andrews with high distinction in music performance. Jason Patrick Albane. Mariah Renee Avila with high distinction in exercise science. Jacob Carl Bargan with high distinction in exercise science. Ornis Berry. David Dennis Paul Beadle. Drea Ann Benson. Isabel Blancarte Walker. Maxwell Jane Marie Blankenship, magna cum laude with high distinction in theater. Caitlin Skye Bolton. Isabel Joanne Bonomo. Ava Grace Brocken. Brianna Lynn Brenforda, cum laude with distinction in art education and high distinction in secondary education. Luke Anthony Brooks. Carrie Elizabeth Brosman. Macy Marie Bryant, summa cum laude, with high distinction in her personalized program of political science and Spanish. Brock Thomas Burrish. Deshaun Jamone Burks. Casper J. L. Campbell. Madison Carpenter, cum laude, with high distinction in health systems. Sarah Jocelyn Carter, with distinction in business administration and marketing. Jessica Jo Chartier, magna cum laude, with high distinction in wildlife biology. Catherine Constance Columbus. Josephine Hanako Cooley, magna cum laude, with high distinction in art. Cameron Caraggio. Brady Creech. Alyssa Elaine Curry, with distinction in marketing. Maxwell David Dare. Easton Tyler Debuse. Jared Joseph Delgado. Aliska Descartes Guzman. Trinity Ray Dublin. Taylor Lane Dunbar, with distinction in business administration. Riker Timothy Dunkley. Marcus Andrew Dustin, magna cum laude, with high distinction in biochemistry. Amin Al-Hadri, with high distinction in business administration and distinction in marketing. Aaron Dean El-Gozma. Chance Curtis Elwood. Joseph Vincent Femia. Duncan Paul Fouts, magna cum laude, with high distinction in exercise science. Michaela Ann Fox. Tanner James Friend. Stephen Andrew Fullerton. Brooke Elizabeth Gahn, with high distinction in art and art education. Millie Alice Gell, cum laude, with high distinction in exercise science and psychology. Nikki Georges. Nikita Georges, summa cum laude, with high distinction in accounting. Hunter Christian Gilbertson. Keenan Donovan Griffin, with distinction in psychology. Rayleigh Dawn Geyer. Duran Dietrich Hall. Kaylee Marie Hansen, summa cum laude, with high distinction in elementary education. Alexander William Hardy. Kyle Hasselman, cum laude, with distinction in accounting and high distinction in business administration. Mackenzie Joe Havronic with high distinction in elementary education and distinction in special education. Shay Haida with distinction in exercise science. Dalton William Helmick. Jared Daniel Henchick with high distinction in business administration and Spanish. Emeterio William Hernandez with distinction in physical education. Quayshawn Micah Hill. Melissa K. Hines. Jackson Luke Hobbs with high distinction in Spanish education. Lisa Bettina Höflich, cum laude, with distinction in business administration and high distinction in marketing. Danielle Josephine Herr, cum laude, with distinction in accounting and high distinction in business administration. Taylor Dawn Holdsworth with high distinction in elementary and special education. Edward Lawrence Holly. Caden James Holm with high distinction in physical education. David Hottie. Kyla Rose Humphreys, magna cum laude with high distinction in biology and business administration. Avery Ray Hyde, cum laude, with distinction in accounting and high distinction in business administration. Erica Ann Inne. Elena John, in absentia. Destiny Michelle Johnson. Caitlin Marie Johnson. Erica Inne. Madeline Renee Kamler. Molly Elizabeth Kammer, cum laude with high distinction in biology education. Peyton Grace Kapler, summa cum laude with high distinction in health systems. Brock James Carr. Caleb Carr. Larissa Kaz with high distinction in exercise science. Michaela Benita Kearns. Miranda Ray Kelly. Ayla Marie Kefart. Henry Nicholas Kosmicki, cum laude, with distinction in business administration. Delaney Grace Krutzinger with distinction in art. Jacob Michael Lambert, Jr. Megan Lamp, in absentia. Christian Dean Large. Jaden Lee Lawrence. Lauren Mary Lee with high distinction in exercise science. Matthew James Leonard. Justin Lavasser with distinction in exercise science. Luke James Lewandowski. Angelina Lynn Lockhart. Juan Jose Lopez Ortiega. Gianna Grace Lucas. Israel Salvador Manriquez. Tristan Joaquin Martinez. Jalen Terrell McCall. Sarah Ellen McCarraher. Wade Allen McWhorter. And Elia Medeiros with high distinction in community health and wellness. Michael Jesus Medina. Giovanni Mendoza Velo. Chloe Ann Mesquita. Dalton James Michael. Brianna Cassidy Miller. Marcus Tyler Miller with high distinction in physical education. Sydney Ray Mills. Ethan Jaden Minns. Alexa Isabella Montes, cum laude with high distinction in elementary education. Emma Lee Morelli, summa cum laude with high distinction in history. Alexis Don Mudloff. Quade Dale Myers. Elijah Robert Nappy, summa cum laude with high distinction in exercise science and finance. Bree Narek with high distinction in English. Paige Elizabeth Neal. Jaden Andrew Nels in absentia. Brendan Robert Nelson. Max Nielsen. Faith Hadley Pear. Edward Ryan Pallado, summa cum laude with high distinction in business administration, marketing, and Spanish. Sebastian Palmer. Carson M. Party with distinction in exercise science. Jordan Ellen Parker in absentia. Donovan Lee Parker. Chase Matthew Pulowski, cum laude with high distinction in criminology. Tessa Peterson. Zachary Michael. Christian. Ilek Ramsey with high distinction in philosophy and religion. Colton Jean Wren. Bennett Michael Richter. Rachel Ritzman. Nicholas Silva Riveros, high distinction in business administration in absentia. Sebi Jean Roberts. Eric Ivan Rodriguez. Jada Lorraine Rao, magna cum laude with high distinction in biology. Jacob Randall Royal. Marissa Kai Reese, summa cum laude with high distinction in wildlife biology. Camry Nicole Runyon, magna cum laude with high distinction in elementary and special education. Wyatt James Ryan, cum laude with high distinction in business administration. Tyler James Salter. Isaac Jordan Sandoval. Grace Skamehorn. Bailey Joanne Schmidt, summa cum laude with high distinction in elementary and special education. Campbell Thomas Shukai, cum laude with high distinction in business administration and saxophone. Tegan Marie Schwartz with distinction in elementary education. Spencer Reagan Searcy. Michaela Ann Seabaum. Trevor Charles Seeley, cum laude with high distinction in finance. Addison Rose Shoemaker with high distinction in elementary education. Miles Ryan Simon in absentia. Liam Vale Seitz, magna cum laude with high distinction in art education. J.D. Michael Skis. Samantha Nicole Skinner with high distinction in elementary and special education. Maxwell David Smith. Maxwell David Smith. Rachel Smith with distinction in music education. Caden Nicholas Steen. Jenna Sterling. Caleb C. Stewart in absentia. Sophia Summy. Story Emerson Talbert, summa cum laude with high distinction in chemistry and design thinking. Caitlin Thibaugh, magna cum laude with high distinction in health systems. Hayden Andrew Thomason, magna cum laude with high distinction in accounting and business administration. Ember Thorson, magna cum laude with high distinction in communication studies. Jamie Elizabeth Triello. Derek Michael Trumke. Pace Paul Valdez. James Matthew Velazquez Jr. Jacob Thomas Vick. Marcus Joseph Vigil. Ashton Taylor Vuxen with high distinction in physics. Carson Elizabeth Weiss with high distinction in art. Odyssey M. Wentz. Paige Elizabeth Wilcoxon with high distinction in Spanish and distinction in psychology. Tiana Williams. Samuel Emmett Jacob Wise. Connor Ryan Wood. Ben Wood. Peyton Lawrence Yost. That concludes our bachelor's graduates. I would now ask that the faculty marshal, Professor Turner McGee, escort the advisors for the Master of Arts in Teaching to the platform to assist in hooding our master's degree recipients. As that is happening, I would ask the candidates for the degree Master of Arts in Teaching to please rise and proceed to the platform to receive your diplomas and to be hooded. Devin Badaris. Claudia Kirilla. Destiny Jade Curtis. Dally Sue Hoskinson. Parker Johnson. Quentin Sinek. Brandon Valenzuela. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2026.
Candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Master of Arts, please rise. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Hastings College, I do hereby confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, or Master of Arts in Teaching, with all the rights, honors, and privileges thereunto appertaining. One more huge round of applause for the class of 2026. You may be seated. It is always an honor to share this day with you. I'm a 1985 Hastings College graduate, and I can still remember what it was like to be sitting in the audience and sitting in those rows and everybody here, knowing that you had successfully completed your degree and how thrilled my parents were that it happened. I remember that transitional feeling, that sort of in-betweenness you must be feeling right now. It's both a beginning and an ending at the same time. So on one hand, you are done. You are done. And on the other hand, you are just getting started. Our mission, as you've heard, is to graduate curious, creative, caring students who thrive as citizens of their local and global communities. As such, while you've learned a lot during your years at Hastings College, you should have also realized that every answer you receive prompts another set of questions, that the pursuit of the good and the true is a lifelong journey. So for the rest of today and all the days that follow you, the world is going to need your care, your concern, and your creativity. You are called to make a difference in the lives of others. You are to ask to live a life of service, not self-service, to make your local and global communities places of well-being and joy. We will always be here to share that journey with you. This is your home, and you are always welcome here. Hastings College is rooted on the prairie, and you are now her seeds in the wind. So go, reap a great harvest. Laugh often, hug hard, celebrate, and continue day after day to do really good things. For when you do that, not only here on this beautiful, stunning campus will it be a great day to be a Bronco, but it will be a great day to be one wherever you are. So our very best to each of you. Since Bree shared a poem with you, let me do the same. So graduating class, you're going to repeat these lines after me. It is a phrasing from W.B. Yeats, an Irish poet, so I'm changing the words just slightly, but these are the last lines of one of my favorite poems by Yeats, and they're a wonderful reminder of what really matters in our life. So this is both a toast to your class, and it's a toast to everybody gathered here. So I'm going to say the words, you repeat them after me. Here we go. Think where our glory... Oh, it's got to be louder than that. Okay, here we go. Think where our glory most begins and ends. And say our glory is that we have all these friends. Congratulations, class of 2026. As our celebration comes to a close, Summer, thank you for being up here, will lead us in the singing of the Alma Mater. At the conclusion of the Alma Mater, Reverend Doodle Harris will share a benediction. From all of us, it has been a true joy to celebrate today with you.
Dear Since poetry appears to be the theme of the day, I will leave you with some ideas from T.S. Eliot. In every ending is a beginning. There is no beginning without an ending. Graduates, you are staring simultaneously at the ending and the beginning, so hear these words of hope. May the one who created your first beginnings bless all of your new beginnings. May the one who redeems all of your endings bring us all new life. May the Spirit who nudges us forward this time push us into the promises of God, the one who has gone before, the one who is above and below, the one who is beside and between, the one who is within and through, a God who is ending and beginning. Amen.